The original question was a joke about all 4 of them sleeping together. However, Jasleen only talks about Nav and never mentions her own husband, even excluding him from the hypothetical and talking about a 3-person situation. Nahal clearly attempts to steer the conversation back to the dynamic being 4 people to respect Akash, while Jasleen continues to fantasize about Nav. Once again, you could argue that Jasleen is just joking, but when you joke about something over and over again, especially in a short period of time, you start to wonder if there's a little bit of truth to that. Even while talking about her husband in a positive light, Jasleen can't help but imply that Nav is a better husband than her own. To make matters worse, only minutes later in the podcast, they bring their husbands on, where Akash is forced to sit next.
I don't want to be a hater. I'm a hate for a second. I'm sorry. I don't really see the difference between these 2 motherfuckers. These 2 niggas look like brothers. What is this man's wife talking about? What is Akash's wife talking about? These guys look like brothers. She does not love you, man. She's in love with... All right, welcome back to another Honestly Speaking video. Today's topic is Akaash Singh. We're going to cover what has been going on with him, what's happening in the Flagrant podcast, his performance on the stage doing his comedy shows, and how he's been handling this embarrassing situation with his wife.
This stand-up comedian is being humiliated in front of the entire world and does not know how to make it stop. Akaash Singh is mostly known as being the sidekick to Andrew Schultz on the Flagrant podcast. His wife Jasleen...
Damn, sidekick is horrendous. Okay, that's embarrassing. You got to do something about that, Mr. Akaash Singh. You need to be more than just the sidekick. But I've seen the show Flagrant, and he really is the sidekick. Like, Akash is just there just for the laughs, right? Andrew says his jokes, and everybody just is just busting their gut, and it's freaking
recently
hilarious.
Started creating content that many feel is shocking or distasteful coming from a married woman.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
This is not a two-way street.
Damn. Man, that's embarrassing. I would be devastated if my wife was talking about that, like online, and talking about her past, how so nostalgic and how much she misses it. Man, I would be, I would be crushed. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How could you possibly go outside and think this is okay?
What?
Okay?
What the
No.
fuck? Slow down. What the fuck?
No.
No.
Okay? Dave said it best. No. Okay? That's crazy. No respect for your man.
This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
And if you think those clips are bad, trust me, it gets so much worse. Like when she expressed how badly she wanted to sleep with her co-host's husband.
Would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husband? Priya, I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
That's gross. That's gross. I take back the devastated. I'd be pissed. I would be legitimately furious with my spouse. We'd have to sit down and have a serious conversation about this. And I'd immediately tell her all that shit's got to come off the internet. Every last freaking episode. Remove your whole entire YouTube. It's already out there. It's too late. But you're not putting it out anymore.
Because this
Hell no.
couple is so good looking, and
This
you
is so
haven't
whack.
seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. Maybe.
Man, that's a fucking L. That's an
I
L.
just know that Nav's is like at least 10 inches.
You would only be down for an orgy if we
Or
did
it's
it.
thick. It's thick.
Jasleen regularly...
This is gross. Like, no, that's gross. What's up with some of these women who go out there and make these podcasts and like their goal is to just be dirty and talk lewd and be disgusting? Like how I couldn't imagine if I'm sitting with one of my homies and I'm talking about how his girl's breasts are just so supple and juicy. Like I would expect my homie to give me a 2-piece combo. Shut up, stop talking about my wife's breasts. Are you out of your mind? And if one of my wife's friends was to bring up a conversation like that to her, I would expect her to get up and walk away, or immediately ask her friend, we're not talking about this, and why are you asking me these kinds of questions?
Romanticizes sleeping with other men, films her arguments with Akash to post on TikTok, brags about being a gold digger, and actively refuses to kiss her husband in public, not even during his proposal. This
Ooh. Yo, that turnaway is crazy. I know it burns his soul. I know it does. It's so embarrassing. I know it burns his soul. I have one story of something similar, but maybe I'll tell it later.
This is the type of relationship that 99% of you watching pray you will never find yourself in. But anyone who criticizes Jasleen and the potential harmful influence she may have on couples, she calls them incel red pillars. Then again, it's somewhat understandable considering sometimes the right message can come from the wrong messenger. Because Akash was actually warned by the Fresh and Fit podcast that he was going to find himself in this exact type of situation. In the early 2020s, there was a digital uprising
I had actually seen that episode, and it was interesting to watch.
Of self-proclaimed alpha males who claimed their traditional views of masculinity were directly conflicting with mainstream liberal ideologies. Guys like Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks of the Fresh and Fit podcast got viral.
Both clowns, both sellouts. I don't like either one of these guys. I used to watch the Fresh and Fit podcast maybe a couple years back, but as I seen that their hatred for women was real and growing, I had to tune out. I was like, nah. Before, some of their advice was, solid for some young men, like developing yourself and pretty much the women will come. I 100% will agree with that. Don't build yourself up with the idea of getting a woman, but build yourself up to better yourself, and the women will come. I like it. It's true. I agree with it. But then they just started, the way they talk to women and the way they talk about black people and black women and black men and the black culture. I hate it. I don't like either one of these.
Attention talking about traditional gender roles, relationship dynamics, and what being a real man is. And even though Akash and Andrew host a comedy podcast, they often dabble in more serious, broader social commentary, which led to them inviting on the Fresh and Fit guys to discuss some of their views on masculinity and relationships, many of which Akash disagreed with. He was particularly bothered by this phrase or relationship philosophy that Fresh and Fit used that said, pimp or be pimped.
One person in the relationship, whoever cares less has the leverage, and we want the guy to always care less. We want the man to always have the leverage.
Childish as
and you
God, look at Akash's face. This guy's had one woman in his entire life, and it's the woman he's married to right now, embarrassing him. If there's anyone out there who could have actually used these two bozos' advice, would have been him. It's hilarious. And now, the way they're saying it is, the way they're structuring it comes off sounding terrible. Like someone has to have like the leverage in the relationship. Someone has to be more in love with the other. But because I'm seasoned in relationships, I'd say, I'm 33 years old. I'm married. I got 2 kids, and I've dated prior to meeting my wife. And when I was younger and dating, I made a lot of mistakes, like liking the girl too much, more than she liked me, to the point sometimes they'd be like, I don't even know why you like me so much. And as time went on, I clued in. I was like, why am I actually putting so much into this person? You have actually not done anything to earn this kind of treatment, and you're actually showing me such. Now, that's what I take from this, is that don't do too much, okay? The person in the relationship, you want the woman to really love you, and then you kind of play back, be cool about it. Don't really play all your hands like I'm so madly in love with you, because almost every time with certain women, it doesn't work out that way. Now, there's argument to be made that maybe that person isn't the person for you, because if you're trying to be yourself, and if the person that you are a giving and loving person, the person for you would be receptive to that. So that's also...
You guys might not like hearing that.
Childish.
But we truly feel.
I'm not. These aren't new beliefs, bro. You're not telling me some shit none of us have ever heard. We all heard this from fraternity guys in college. I'm saying there's room in and I don't have a problem with a lot of the stuff you say. I just think there is room for growth. And you guys' refusal to acknowledge it almost kind of proves it to me, confirms it to me that you guys are not willing to grow right now. And that's fine. That's some ego shit.
Throughout the pod, Andrew seemed to have no problem having a serious, calm conversation about someone else's worldview despite not fully...
I do not actually like Andrew Schultz. I find him to be a very fake human being, and I don't like him. I think he's a disingenuous human being, and he's not really who he presents himself as.
Agreeing with it, but Akash was clearly much more upset with what they were saying. Most of the podcast, it didn't feel like he was listening, but rather just waiting for his turn to speak and assert his own personal philosophy on dating. However, Fresh and Fit were mostly known to say outlandish and
I am curious, though, as to what advice can one really give when you lack the experience of dating? Like, he married the first person he was with. He had like an arranged marriage or something, from what I understand. So you don't have any experience in dating. So really, it's like you don't have anything to give. But if you've been married for a while, you have something to give in that realm, really, you know. But trying to give anybody a dating advice from your position is like negligible. You don't have much to tell me except for, you know, treat them nice.
Straight up disrespectful things about women on a regular basis. So most people naturally sided with Akash's view of equity and equality in relationships, as well as understood his general frustration towards these guys. What we would later discover is that the reality of Akash's own personal relationship reflected the exact situation that Fresh and Fit were trying to warn him about. But before we dive deeper, I want to talk about one of the most disturbing industries in America, data brokers. They provide reports like this that have information about you, including your contact info, address, your relatives, and maybe even what car you drive. This stuff isn't members of the Flagrant and Fresh and Fit podcast would trade shots at each other over the next few years, but tensions reached a boiling point when Myron of the Fresh and Fit podcast called out Akash and his wife Jasleen. He tweeted, "Akaash Singh tried to lecture me about women years ago. Here's his wife making a mockery of him and herself on a podcast." And linked below was a full episode of the Main Character podcast hosted by Jasleen Singh and her friend Nahal Mawani. The women described their podcast as unfiltered girl talk and sells itself as being for the ones who live life like the plot revolves around them, because it does. This description on the surface is relatively harmless, but once you take a
I got an unpopular opinion about some women, and it's that I truly believe that this narcissism thing that they try and throw on men, I actually believe more women are actually narcissists than men. And if that's just their natural proclivity to be narcissists in whatever way, then have at it. You know, men and women were very different. You know, we're damn near different creatures. If they're like that, then cool. But it's just like what the world just revolves around me. And like some women truly feel like that. And I've been around plenty of women where it's like they actually have what they call it, the main character syndrome, I believe they call it.
Closer look at the podcast itself, you see that this description is extremely accurate. Two women who think they're the main characters of the world talking about themselves with absolutely no filter. One comment that stood out in this episode was where Jasleen discusses her and her husband's finances.
Man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a red flag. And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll mother. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money.
This guy is absolutely run by his woman. Let me put this on the big screen. He is run by his chick. Okay? Run by her.
Damn.
Run by her. One more time.
Damn.
Run by her. Damn. This is a one-way street. First of all, men who are not married yet, do not make a joint bank account with your wife. You don't need to. It's unnecessary. And if, God forbid, things don't go well, it is going to hurt you in the long run. I'm married. Been married for like 3 years. I think maybe a little bit longer. Don't tell my wife that I forgot. We don't have a joint bank account. I handle the bills I'm supposed to handle. She handles the bills she's supposed to handle. Whenever she needs a little extra money, she says, "Baby, I need a little extra money." No problem. Vice versa. Don't worry, baby. I got you. Dude, baby, I need some. Okay, yeah. Right? No joint bank account. We don't do that. We're not doing that in here. If you guys want to get something together, I'll pay for it. You pay me back. Okay? We want to invest in something together? Okay. We invest it, then we put the money into that investment together. We are not sharing a bank account because it's unnecessary. And if, God forbid, you split up, that money is up for grabs for whoever, okay? You don't want to do that. Protect yourself.
And my money is my money. And look, Have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, it went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money. Okay? So just so we're clear, no, that's actually a red flag because I know so many girls in my life personally that have been with guys.
You're a red flag. Flag on the play. She is a flaming red flag. Someone lit her on fire. I can't believe she said that. That's a red flag. There's nothing red flag about that.
That weren't transparent about money, and they ended up being terrible in other aspects, and like people ended up breaking up in divorces, et cetera, et cetera. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day one.
For context, Jasleen is not a celebrity by any means. She does not have a job of her own and has only been able to build her internet following thanks to her husband supplementing her lifestyle. And this is not a dig at her at all. She talks about this a lot in her content, and some even think she brags about it.
Okay, hi, my name is Jasleen, and these are things that I do as a stay-at-home wife. Or sorry, I don't do. I don't cook, I don't clean, and I don't do my husband's laundry. I feel that I don't have to do things to justify or prove my worth that I'm allowed to do this.
Now, some may interpret this.
So, let me get this right. What are you? Is she supposed to be a trophy wife? She's just a trophy wife. That's what I'm getting at here. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do anything for him really. She's just a trophy wife. I have a problem with the idea of a trophy wife. There's not a woman in this world that is beautiful enough for me to sacrifice my entire life from you, my money, my time. My time is the most valuable thing. My time, my mental stability, my mind. What are we talking about here? Listen, if you're a man and you're looking for a long-term relationship or you're looking for something serious, that woman better bring something for you. I don't care how this might sound. She had better bring something for you. Because if you set yourself up to build yourself to be that man, that guy, you're that nigga, she's going to expect it when you show up to be that nigga. Whatever you developed for yourself is going to affect her. It's going to help her. What did she do to build herself to come and give you what we need? Men are pretty simple. We want to be fed and we want to be fucked. Hello. Pretty simple. And we want to every now and then look at a little head scratch with some belly rubs, some back rubs, and here's some TV. Here's some weed, maybe some alcohol if you drink. Have at it, baby, and just hang out and just chill. I don't want to fight with you. You are a blight, madam.
Says just jokes, but she also frequently posts day in my life videos where she romanticizes her routine of doing essentially nothing all day long.
I actually do this. I just do this. Like, I sit here. This.
Now, if this is the agreement this couple has in their relationship, then that's fine. It is what it is. Being a stay-at-home wife or mother is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, but it's the aggressive tone and entitlement she gives off that has earned her the label of a gold digger, something that she subtly implies to be.
Now, like, people are like, oh, that's gold digging, or that's something. No, it's not.
Okay, then I'm digging.
Yeah.
If that wasn't bad enough, Jasleen frequently discusses other men that she would like to cheat on her husband with.
I never watched that show, but like, he's on my hall pass list.
Oh, yeah.
James Crawford,
What the
Jacob
hell is going on?
Elordi, Austin Butler.
Now, some people see the whole celebrity crush thing as unserious because the celebrity feels so distant, so unreachable, that it's basically the same thing as fantasizing about a fictional character. Like, it's not really cheating because in their minds the situation is so unrealistic that it becomes harmless. Others see this as straight up openly admitting they'd hook up with someone else that wasn't their husband because celebrities are...
I'm not going to lie. She doesn't love him. She loves his money and what he is capable of. She doesn't love him. I've never had my wife shy away from having a kiss from me. She always wants to be up under me. I love it. She wants to cuddle with me, wants to hold my hand. She wants to be my wife, you know? She doesn't talk bad about me in public as far as I know. Like, she doesn't love him, you know? I say, look, she's a pretty woman and everything, you know, but she definitely thinks I'm better than him. And he should be lucky to have me.
Or just people too, after all.
That him in that movie like did kind of like rewire my sexual.
But is that your type, Ranbir Kapoor?
Not anymore, but like he was so hot and tall, and he's like Mera Naam Bunny, like Bugs Bunny, and I was like, okay.
But Jasleen didn't just openly fantasize about sleeping with other famous men. She quite literally admitted to wanting to sleep with her co-host husband, Nav.
Would y'all ever have an together with your husband.
Priya,
She tried.
I'm actively trying to have an because this couple is so good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us for it?
Is this like okay with women to just talk about their spouses with each other in such a candid way? Like, oh, he's so sexy. I bet you he's got a big cock. It's got to be a 10-incher, thick like a Coke can. Like, this fucking gross.
Maybe.
I just know that Nav
Maybe.
is like at least 10 inches.
You would only be down for an orgy if
Or it's thick. It's thick.
The original question was a joke about all four of them sleeping together. However, Jasleen only talks about Nav and never mentions her own husband, even excluding him from the hypothetical and talking about a three-person situation. Nahal clearly attempts to steer the conversation back to the dynamic being four people to respect Akash, while Jasleen continues to fantasize about Nav. Once again, you could argue that Jasleen is just joking. But when you joke about something over and over again, especially in a short period of time, you start to wonder if there's a little bit of truth to that. Even while talking about her husband in a positive light, Jasleen can't help but imply that Nav is a better husband than her own. To make matters worse, only minutes later in the podcast, they bring their husbands on, where Akash is forced to sit next.
I don't want to be a hater. I'm a hate for a second. I'm sorry. I don't really see the difference between these two motherfuckers. These two niggas look like brothers. What is this man's wife talking about? What is Akash's wife talking about? These guys look like brothers. She does not love you, man. She's in love with Nav. Nav is the name. She's in love with Nav. She said his face card slays. His body never declines.
Next to the man his wife was just fantasizing about having sex with, and she once again brings up having a threesome with Nahal and Nav while Akash is sitting right there.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who hustles.
I'm not gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
Even at the end of the episode, Jasleen once again, completely unprovoked.
This is doo-doo, baby.
Hell no! What the fuck, man? Tell you, man, women love that little bit of that little taste of crime, you know, that just little taste of. Said I just scam a little bit. I'm a hustler that scams a little bit. No, you're a scammer. You're hustling people. Whatever you're doing, I don't know what the fuck he does. But if he's admitting to me, I scam a little bit. He scams a lot. Liar. You scam a lot, don't you? You're a scammer.
States that she wants to sleep with Nav.
On the main character pod, we love you, we hate you,
I guess
we respect
we
you.
love you, but I actually love you in one of all of you.
You would be hard-pressed to make a compelling argument that Jasleen is only joking when she brought up this topic multiple times. And when we get to hear from Akash directly about his perspective of their relationship, you almost get this sense of relief from him that he finally can express how he really feels about Jasleen's behavior.
When she's running 2 hours late to a dinner reservation that I worked really hard to get, and then I'm like, baby, we're running late, and she's like, are you kidding me? Do you know? I don't give a if we're late to this dinner. They're lucky to have us. And I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. #1 restaurant in the New York Times. You know how hard a reservation is?
She's like, call them right now. Call them right now. This is not a fun session.
I'm not even joking. This is how main character I am. I was like, Sema will be lucky that I would grace them with my presence tonight.
Jasleen seems to think that being the main character means being as entitled and rude as possible, with no regard for anyone else's personal feelings. Stories like these demonstrate that Jasleen's selfish demeanor isn't just played up
full
for...
of herself, man. I've met so many women like this in my life that really believe like they're the hottest shit on the planet. No one could tell me anything. I'm always right. I'm never wrong. And I get what I want, and I'm going to get it right fucking now. And it's crazy to me. I'm not going to lie. This is what this prettiness gets you. She's pretty. I'll give it to her. She's pretty. But I've never been a chump for pretty. It's never gotten me. And I've seen many men fall for pretty and get like disrespected in ways I've never had the displeasure of experiencing. She is unbearable. I'm not sure what this guy's getting
podcast, but exists within her real life as well. Akash comes off visibly frustrated when talking about his wife's toxic behavior.
Sorry, one more time. This has got to be like simp virgin issues. I'm sorry, I don't know how to explain it any other way. Maybe that's just I don't know. I don't know what what he's supposed to do for himself. He has a lack of experience with women, and at his age, he married her, his first woman he's been with, lost his virginity to her. He's caught. You're done, buddy. You were damn near like the 40-year-old virgin. You're done. You're done. I remember when I was in my youth and I had my first woman that slept with me. Oh, buddy, I was in love. Holy smokes. You kidding me? I got lost in the sauce, dog. Lost in the sauce, and she was not even that good to me. Oh, my God.
Behavior, turning it into a therapy session for him where he can finally let out his pent-up rage.
When I
Poor
say
guy.
I'm tired, she can't just let me be tired. I travel, I work, and I'm very blessed to do what I
He
do.
also
I
has
work
really bad insomnia.
I have
It's like
really
a
bad
known
insomnia.
thing.
I work 335 days a year. I'm so blessed to do what I do. This is not a complaint. But when I tell my wife I'm tired, I want her to say, I'm sorry, baby. I understand. That must be exhausting, buying me all these things. Instead, she goes, so am I. And if I dare open my mouth to go, what the did you do that made you tired? Now it's a problem. Now it's a fight. So I
What do you
sit
mean?
there.
I went to Pilates.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Nahal.
Now, there definitely is a humorous delivery to the story that Akash is telling, but it does seem
This is like a serious topic, and he's like failing to recognize that this is actually serious. Jokes are not like, I'm doing all the heavy lifting here. All the heavy lifting. You need to appreciate me, and I need to see it now. Is how he needs to be. But instead, he's like, what are you tired about? Making all these stupid jokes, making people laugh. But it's like, this is serious, bro. It's not
to be
jokey
rooted
joke
in
time.
genuine problems he has with his relationship. Jasleen displays an extremely selfish and entitled mindset, both on the podcast and in their real life. Are we really meant to believe that all of this is just funny, just jokes? Well, ironically, that's basically how Akash justifies putting up with this behavior.
It's adorable when she does these things. Like, I just look at it and here's the rule in our marriage. It's been unspoken, but now we're
Aw, did you hear that? It's adorable. It's adorable that his wife's a bitch. Wow. Wow. I didn't know having a wife that is willing to disrespect you like that is adorable. Amazing.
just saying it now that we're both making content. If it's funny, we're good. Like, if it's funny, and if it's not funny and it hurt the other person's feelings, you apologize, you move on.
Any logical person understands this is an extremely slippery slope, because literally anything can be passed off as a joke or an attempt to make a joke. Like this video she posted to TikTok where you can hear them both chuckling from time to time, but it's clear they are both frustrated and quite literally just documenting themselves having an argument.
Do you know what my husband just tried to do to me?
Yeah.
We're leaving. Shut up. We're leaving in Paris in 5 hours, so tensions are a little high. We also just redid our closet.
This is all her closet now. She took the whole closet.
Which we already agreed upon.
And now she's saying she doesn't have no space.
And now I'm saying I don't have space for all my. I don't have space for. Can you show?
Yeah.
I don't have space for all my Indian suits because I like my dresses spaced out. Do you know what Akash just did?
Here you go. Watch this. Oh my God.
I'm not doing
Look how
that.
much space exists.
I'm not doing that.
So what do you want to do? You want to buy a separate house with all hanger space?
No.
In another video, she documents her being stressed out about packing for a lavish vacation in the wealthiest area of America, which is only a 3-hour drive from their apartment.
Okay, so me and my husband are supposed to leave tonight to go to the Hamptons for 2 weeks, and I haven't even packed anything yet. So I was just like, I'm really stressed. Like, I
Hell, the Hamptons for 2 weeks? Woo! Yo, my nigga paid, bro. Damn.
don't want to go tonight because I still have to pack. I haven't even started. I have to finish my laundry.
Really, I know this is a really hard day. What did you do again?
Oh, today?
Yeah.
I had a mani-pedi.
Oh, wow, that's so stressful.
Wait, and I had a massage.
It's how stressful to go to the Hamptons for 2 weeks. Oh!
Why does he put up with this? I don't know. I don't understand men who are capable of dealing with a woman that just lays about and refuses to do anything for you, and like they're okay with it. It's like, yeah, she just does for me. She's just beautiful. That's all she does. She just, just wanted to just be around and be beautiful.
Oh, the Hamptons.
Okay.
Akash puts up with Jasleen's selfish behavior and entitlement because he thinks they are just cute jokes. But it clearly isn't just jokes. Jasleen even says that Akash's birthday is her least favorite day of the year because it's the only day she can't be mean to him.
Okay, May the 4th is Akash's birthday. And
May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and every year I dread it because I have to be nice the whole day, and I have to get him something, and I have to also be nice and do like acts of kindness.
She said that twice. You know, she said that twice.
She's really not okay with it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's really hard.
For her, it's really hard.
For me.
She needs to just,
Listen, I'm just used to being treated like a princess all day, every day, so that one day that I don't.
Oh, what torture.
Yeah.
Akash is the Indian Will Smith. Bro, Akash married the girl Fresh and Fit warned you not to marry. She's the embodiment of what Fresh and Fit said to avoid.
It actually is. You're doing all the hard work and the woman's not giving you anything but disrespect. It's actually embarrassing. It's painfully embarrassing. And I want to say I feel bad for him, but I don't. I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for men that make these kind of decisions, who have women that treat them so poorly and publicly.
Akash's rejection of Fresh and Fit's ideology now looked more like a defensive response born out of insecurity, considering her previous comments about her cheating on her husband, the unapologetically consumerist lifestyle that he funds, and the clear unsettling tension she has with Akash made many question what her true motives were in the relationship. Many viewed Jasleen as a gold digger who had no actual emotional or romantic tie to the man that she married, and these sentiments would only grow stronger as people took notice of a very strange pattern of behavior, that being her tendency to avoid kissing Akash, and even straight up dodging his kisses when he tries to initiate.
I don't know
She's a good
anything.
liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend that lies for you and not to you.
And this was not just a one-time occurrence. Entire compilations have been created showing just how often Jasleen avoids kissing her own husband. To make matters worse, not only did she dodge a kiss from Akash during their marriage proposal, but she also dodged his
Hey, yo, man, that kiss dodging stuff, man, and so publicly too, and all these photos, man, I don't deal with that. I got a lovely wife who kissed me whenever I lean in for a kiss. She kisses me. She don't care if my mom's around, family's around. I want my husband kisses. Now it doesn't got to be like that for everybody, and I get it. Public displays of affection ain't it. I don't mind like a peck, but we're not making out in front of people. But like I expect, if I'm coming in with the love, you better return it. Okay, don't be rejecting me in front of people. Okay, that's crazy. It's different, for behind closed doors. You want to, push my face away. No, I don't want no kiss right now. I'm putting on my makeup or some shit like that. Cool, whatever. But out public, no. Yo, if I'm showing you affection and give you a forehead kiss and you say, no, I want that lip. And you give her that lip. Okay, this is embarrassing. Like, it seems like a lot of curated photos and like social media posts where she's just like dodging his kisses. This happened to me once when I was in like my early 20s when I was dating this girl. We were at a house party and I had to leave for work early. And I went to kiss her goodbye, and this was like a new relationship. And but all of our peers, we had all known for a while. We all went to like high school together. She went and dodged the kiss. She went like, whoop. And then I think I said like, I love you or something like that. And she dodged the kiss and didn't say it back. And I was like, oh shit, nigga, I didn't know like that. I thought we had something going. I picked up my shit and I was like, whoop, skirt. And then she sent me some long ass text messages to call me and shit about how she didn't mean to do that and just caught her off guard and blah, 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 these X, Y, and Z reasons. But long story short, she's not the woman I married. So,
kiss a second time when he proposed to have their vows renewed. But Jasleen says it's nothing more than her being uncomfortable with public displays of affection.
I'll also respond to the people saying I don't like my husband because I turned away from a kiss. I've never liked PDA, physical touch. I find it really overstimulating. And so it's something I actually work through with my husband because that's his love language.
Now, having issues with PDA are extremely common. However, it is worth considering all of the other things Jasleen has no problem doing on camera. She's constantly talking about sex on her podcast and on her TikTok, not to mention the fact that she posted an entire video where she is clearly not wearing any pants, getting treatment for a bruise she got during sex. And as if it couldn't get worse, she also flirts with the doctor.
Also, I heard you're single. Is that true?
We'll go back to treatment.
So she has no problem posting herself having very graphic conversations, half-naked videos of herself, and flirting with other men, but she draws the line at giving her own husband a kiss. Just doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't add up. That's BS. Like I said, she does not actually like her husband. No, she doesn't like him. She doesn't like him. She doesn't love him. She's there for the money. and he's being played. I'm sorry, it is what it
Not
is.
only did Jasleen look extremely shady, it now seemed like she was perfectly comfortable with lying about her relationship to make herself look better. And it turns out she wasn't just lying to her small audience, she was also lying to her own husband as well. Now, Jasleen constantly claiming that she has main character energy is particularly interesting. This is supposed to mean that you are liberated from others' judgment and confident in yourself. But for some, saying you have main character energy is just an acceptable way to admit that you are a narcissist, and narcissists tend to lie about everything, which is why many refused to believe Jasleen when she said that she was a virgin before meeting Akash. Akash has previously stated that he and Jasleen were both virgins before they met.
My wife also
She's
had
lying.
partner, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this: do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. I remember I was just like, what?
Jasleen, in a separate podcast, made the same statement.
I was at the point where I was ready because I don't know if you told her because I was.
Oh no, I didn't know you were a virgin too.
So I was a virgin too when I met him.
However, posts made by Jasleen herself.
Bullshit. She actually laughed like that. You know, I was a virgin too when I met him. Liar. Liar.
Tell a completely different story, like the one where she reminisces on the days she spent in college, passing herself around to other men.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
Now, technically, she doesn't say that she was sleeping with them, but it is heavily implied. And despite many feeling like they caught her in a lie, she surprisingly doubled down in a response to the criticism, claiming that she did in fact lose her virginity to Akash. Even though Jasleen has disabled the comments on her social media, preventing anyone from criticizing her on her own page, she still sees the backlash, and her justification for acting the way she does online just makes everything so much worse.
Oh man, look at some of these comments. I just caught this one. It says Akaash Singh who knowingly married a coal burner. Damn. Akash, thanks for paying off my student loans, bro. You a real one. Hilarious. I guess this is somebody who's probably reacting to his stuff. This is so embarrassing.
Worse. Jasleen has made a few public responses on her TikTok where she claims that she is being cancelled, which is funny because she has nothing to be cancelled from. She has no show to be fired from, no brand deal to lose, no job, no platform that anyone could realistically take away from her. In the last few years, cancel culture has become such a buzzword that people will use as a shield against any form of criticism. If an influencer or celebrity frames their criticism as, oh, they're just trying to cancel me, a certain group of viewers will immediately jump to their defense without doing any research. They hear the word cancel and assume it's just another example of people online trying to ruin someone's life for no reason. But Jasleen is the one who decided to blurt out all of this stuff about her relationship for the internet, and she's being criticized for it. It's that simple. But she mostly
Of course, it's like you didn't think about what you're saying at all, and you just decide to just go on the internet and just spew a bunch of nonsense.
Talks up all the negative attention to just coming from red pillars and incels trying to cancel her because she doesn't fit the traditional wife role.
When you're a simple little boy, it just breaks their brain that a girl can like just be loved for simply existing. My husband loves me for
Nobody's saying that. What men are trying to say, at least some of these guys out here, are trying to say you shouldn't be loving anybody just for existing. What kind of idiot bitch boy are you? Like, you're just going to love a woman just to exist? I love her because she's just existing. She's just here, and I love that about her. So are many people. Like, that's nothing special. What?
Simply existing. I don't have to cook or clean to justify my worth.
Now, nobody is saying that she needs to cook and clean and fit some 1950s idea of a trad wife to have value. The issue is that publicly romanticizing other men, joking about cheating, and openly fantasizing about life before your husband isn't empowerment, it's disrespect. It's not about gender roles, it's about basic partnership and companionship. And her mentality and behavior influencing others is potentially harmful to relationships or even single people all around the world. Her second response came a few days later, after people had thoroughly scrubbed through her digital footprint. Jasleen should have realized at this point that it was more than just incels coming after her, but she does make an interesting point about the criticism she was receiving.
Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny, it's so relatable. But then I come on TikTok and I make jokes, and now you have a
Your husband's a comedian. You're nobody. And when did your jokes? Where's the punchline? Okay, when were your jokes funny? When were we supposed to hit the punchline? And then when were we supposed to laugh? None of it was funny. You're not
problem.
What?
Because I don't have a mic in my hand?
Ironically, yes. If she did have a microphone in her hand, it would be way different. If she was trying to make it as a stand-up comic and her material focused around her being a gold digger or cheating on her husband, people would likely assume that she's being self-deprecating and not to take her as seriously. Because when you are on stage with a mic, people understand that it is a form of performance art that was thought about, written, practiced, and perfected over time. But she isn't selling herself as a comedian. Her podcast is branded as Unfiltered Girl Talk, which implies that Jasleen is offering her honest thoughts and feelings while present. Not to mention that the same things she tries to pass off as jokes, she also attempts to justify as valid opinions she genuinely has. Also, her TikTok is quite literally a behind-the-scenes look at her real life and real dynamics with her husband. She is picking and choosing what should be considered as jokes and what is serious to, again, deflect criticism. This is likely the exact same thing she does to Akash in their personal relationship, which is why he doesn't even realize he is being disrespected and humiliated. Akash certainly complains about his relationship while doing stand-up.
My wife is objectively gorgeous. Me? No. So that's what you gotta do. I gotta work my ass off, and then every time she starts looking at me and she starts assessing my beauty, I just throw it back at that. Chest pass! I'm telling you, ladies, if you have a good guy...
That's embarrassing.
Do you know what he needs? A vacation. You hear it all the time. A relationship is hard work. Marriage is a job. Well, every good job gives you 2 weeks vacation. And if you have a good man, I promise you I know what his dream vacation is. Because every good guy's dream vacation is your vacation. Go somewhere. Go anywhere you want.
But in a more personal setting, like a podcast for example, Akash is significantly more graceful when talking about his wife.
She just says everything she's feeling at whatever moment. It's done. She just tells me when she's pissed off at me. It just all comes out. It took me a while to appreciate that because initially I'm like, why are you so combative? What's this about? God damn, stop fighting with me all the time. And then I was like, oh no, she just lets it out and she's free. All these little social niceties that we all do where we just lie.
Bro took the simping crown from Will Smith.
Feeling the pressure from all the backlash, Akash started interrupting his stand-up performances to talk.
He didn't even take the crown. He made the fucking crown.
About social media drama. As one fan wrote,
I went to the 7 p.m. show last night and it was extremely awkward. He was clearly not processing the situation well and he ended the set 20 minutes early. He spent the first 10 to 15 minutes of the set talking about the controversy, how his wife has been loyal to him, and everything she has been saying is just jokes and is fine with him. No one in the crowd knew how to take this information, and I truly believe that the majority of fans there had no idea any of this was going on. This only made him spending like 1/3 of his set on it even more awkward. He then proceeded to jokingly call his wife a whore every time he brought her up, which was just not helping. I think it ruined.
Yikes. That's not good.
His whole set and the mood never recovered, which I think is why he ended early. Other fans recalled a similar experience, and they all seemed to share the sentiment that Akash was clearly rattled by the ordeal and his performance was suffering as a result. One fan even claimed that he asked beforehand if the crowd had heard about the drama and was relieved to find out most of them hadn't. Someone else recorded a recent performance Akash did in which he tries to explain why he thinks his wife isn't what the internet says she is.
These narratives, people calling your wife a gold digger and a whore, all these other things, it's a shame. So I'm going to tell one story that
He should not have gone on stage to talk about any of this. For a matter of fact, he should have kept off the internet for like a hot minute, gone on vacation, pretend like none of this happened, cleaned up his wife's Instagram, her YouTube, and then just carried on with life like everything was normal.
I have never even told her, honestly. My wife and I met in 2014. I was not making much money. I was getting $25 a night doing stand-up. I was on MTV shows that paid dog shit money. But then in 2018, I went flat broke. 34 years old, I probably made $4,000 that entire year. And we couldn't even afford the living room we lived in New York City. Me and her sleeping on a hardwood floor. I'm 34 years old. She's 25 years old. I'm looking at this girl like, man, you could go be with an Indian who's a doctor. I have nothing to give her. It's just a light jacket. It's like October. We have nothing. So I hand her the jacket, and then she said, what's this for? I said, you can use that as a pillow. And then she goes, well, what are you going to use? And I said, I'll figure it out. She handed me back the jacket. She goes, you take this. And then she laid with her head on my chest and her arm around me the entire night. And I remember thinking in that moment, I don't know if I'm going to be able to marry this girl because I'm so broken. I'm in such a bad place and it's a dark time in my life. But I know I will never find a girl that loves me this much ever again.
Now this paints the narrative.
God. Oh, buddy.
Of a girl who was loyal to the core to a man who was at his lowest moment, and therefore deserves the fruits of his success. But there is a few key details that he left out, because shortly after this story that Akash explained of them sleeping on the floor, Jasleen did actually leave him, but then came back to him when his career was revived. Akash says that he made nearly no money during the first 4 years of their relationship, and then went broke in 2018. However, they both have publicly claimed that he was making a 6-figure salary in 2017.
He was getting a lot of work from MTV, like his first.
That's not broke by any metric. This nigga was balling.
Show was wilding out, and then he did Guy Code, and he was just like on a bunch of MTV shows, and he was able to like reach a 6-figure salary, which at the time was really
both these jackasses are liars and bougie.
huge for us. But then in 2018, like all of the opportunities started to dry up. He was kind of aging out of the MTV bracket, and he wasn't really getting any attention from the industry. So he was pretty much losing all his income. And at the same time, I was working a really toxic job with like a toxic manager and like working till 2 a.m. And it just caused a lot of stress on our relationship.
I had like 7 MTV shows. I wasn't making crazy money. I was making like low 6 figures. But my girlfriend at the time, she moved into our place, and then all of a sudden, end of 2017, all the shows started suddenly getting canceled one by one. So I went from making like a low 6 figures, nothing crazy, but 6 figures in 2017 to 2018, probably making like $4,000 for the whole year. I'm not even exaggerating.
Jasleen actually did end up dumping Akash during this dark time, sparked by what she claims was a fight between her and Akash's mother. Then the two eventually got back together months later, and conveniently enough, Akash's Flagrant podcast was just starting to blow up and was making $10,000 a month in Patreon revenue.
Akash and Jasleen finally decided to sit down and address all of the backlash on the Flagrant podcast. Andrew and the guys created this trial where they pretended to investigate Jasleen and ask her all of the tough questions that the internet is demanding answers to. What's funny is that
God, it's fucking lame.
everyone seems to be enjoying this besides Akash. He is easily the least animated one throughout the pod, and seems like he just wants to get this thing over with. Now, the two didn't say anything that we haven't heard before.
None of those men in that room are that guy's friends. Not a single one of them are his friend. This is embarrassing. It's like a, what do they call it? Like a humiliation ritual.
Jasleen basically chalks everything up to being just a joke or exaggerated because most people don't contextualize her background and upbringing.
Have you ever heard of the repressed Catholic schoolgirl?
Never.
I was, yeah, you know. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was.
His Catholic school was in his living room. Imagine how repressed he was.
I was a repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my God, I can dress however I want. I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But
What does a roster mean?
so it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like 2 guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
And when you say hooking up, I think people
When
think you
I
meant...
mean I just meant making out. Again, like everything I say is so amplified and hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I actually am as a person.
Right. So you're saying you're a big old prude.
Yeah, literally.
Throughout the episode, Akash is kind of bullying and teasing her constantly as if this is to prove that they do it to each other and it's not just a one-sided thing, even though on podcasts before this, he is typically more graceful towards her and is not just outright calling her a bitch.
Yeah, she's actually made a non-cooking ass.
You could make that?
Keema.
Yeah.
This,
Really?
this useless.
You can't say this with all due respect, please. You gotta say with all due respect.
Why?
I guess it's your
Well, I
wife.
thought the internet was right about everything.
No.
Golding
Yeah. Okay, so you can make all these things. You can make all these things.
Yeah.
One of the more interesting moments was when the two discussed her bringing up and being so persistent about having an with her co-host's husband. And again, she said it was just a joke, but in the middle of that, she remained firm in her stance that she was a virgin, and even Andrew was surprised.
So if she had a body count, I would have been like, hey, cut that. But because she doesn't, and I know how like innocent.
I don't know whose idea this was, but it's a terrible idea. They should not have done this. This is
Since she actually
terrible.
is.
Oh, you are a virgin?
That's terrible.
That's real?
I was
You
a
were a
virgin
virgin?
until I met him. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't, that body count thing, I'd have been like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Because I would have been insecure about it. But I can be, not that I'm so secure, but with that joke, I'm like so secure.
Oh, I
because
absolutely would feel insecure.
And I think
Yeah.
stupidly, I was like, oh, it's all of us. It's not like
Yeah,
talking.
that is stupid.
Yeah.
But the 87,000 dislikes on the video says that the viewers were not exactly believing whatever they were saying. Are they trying to convince us?
Fucking snake oil salesman. Jesus.
Or themselves? Akash still believes her body count is 1. At this point, someone needs to interview one of those frat boys. The fake laughing is almost corporate level. That being said, it seems like Akash genuinely believes his wife is out of his league. He said publicly that she is far more attractive than any woman he thought he could ever get. When you feel lucky just to be with someone, you start letting things slide that would normally hurt you. You convince yourself the jokes don't mean
Terrible. What an idiot. Anyways, you know what? That's it. I think we've had our belly full of this guy and his sad relationship. Now, a little bit of advice before I even end it. Money will move mountains. All right, money will get you honey. Money will get you into places. It'll get you out of places. It'll make everything seem like it's not real anymore. You know, but it doesn't mean you don't have to build your character. So, in his case, he made all the money, didn't build his character, and he has someone that he doesn't believe that he would have ever been able to get, which is a wrong place to put yourself in. Don't think like that. You can have whatever you want. I mean, you did what most artists couldn't do, is make millions of dollars. You tell me you can score a beautiful woman that's going to treat you with respect? Come on. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. And I want to say I feel bad for this guy, but I don't. He should have listened to the advice of his peers and people who knew better, because he's inexperienced. And he thinks a woman like this is okay to be talking and disrespecting you online and talking about having orgies and talking about his best man's dick size and how his body slays. It's fucking embarrassing. Anyways, guys, that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this debacle of a situation. This is embarrassment of a situation for Mr. Akaash Singh and Jasleen Singh. This is going to hurt his career and her reputation.
Black Cadillac, really that dude. Black Cadillac deuce. Hop out the map, black, all black crew. My